So we are here with Amadou Altai Tardio, who is responsible for economic and monetary affairs, who works as deputy head of cabinet of European Commission Vice President Olli Rehn. We just spoke about the monetary affairs, about the economical regulation in the overall Europe, but let's say for the Czechs it's interesting, the question of joining the Eurozone. So is there anything specific what will be discussed at the moment about those countries who are still on the road towards Eurozone, who are somehow dealing with their own situation after the crisis now?
The crisis in the Eurozone has no doubt affected the perception of the euro as a currency in many member states that are not yet members of the euro area. Normally speaking, according to the treaties, all member states are supposed to join the euro at some point when they are ready, with the exceptions that are explicit in the treaty, the countries that have opt-out provisions, that's Denmark and the UK essentially. So the Czech Republic is expected at some point when it is ready and when its institutions decide so to join the euro area. The euro is and remains a strong currency, and it's an asset in the eyes of international markets. It is an asset also in the eyes of investors. It is clearly also an umbrella that protects the countries that are members of it. It has played as such during the crisis, and after the crisis, of course, it will be, let's say, a visit card for any economy that will join it and has global ambitions in terms of opening markets. I can understand that for many people the impact of the crisis is still waiting in their perceptions. We are not putting any pressure on any non-euro area country to join, but we see, for instance, that recently Estonia became a member of the euro area, and most recently even Latvia. So there is a regained interest in the euro.
Would you suggest to set the exact date of the entering and why?
No, I think that one has to be very respectful with national sovereignty and the sovereign right of the Czech authorities and the Czech parliament to decide on such a sensitive issue. Of course, I can only be reassuring in the sense that there is no existential threat towards the euro anymore. The euro area is recovering in its key indicators. It has good prospects for the year 2014 and 15 and years to come. And as I said, being a member of the euro is an excellent visit card that attracts interests of investors and markets, and at the end of the day, this translates in more growth and jobs.
Just to the current agenda, Europe is talking about the boosting of the economy. Well, does it mean that the austerity measures, let's say, are going to be decreased, and it's time more to send more money towards the companies, or is it just kind of a second step, and Europe still going to keep those austerity measures but in just a lower balance? How to understand it? Is it kind of a change of the policy? How strong change?
It is fundamental to keep wealthy, to keep sustainable public finances in Europe. Fiscal consolidation has taken place in all member states of the European Union. Of course, in an uneven way. In some countries, the fiscal adjustment has been much more important because the deficits caused by the crisis went very high, sometimes even beyond 10% in some member states. It was the case in Ireland, was the case in Spain, for instance. And action was totally indispensable to recover the confidence of the markets so the country could finance itself through normal market conditions. Now that the fiscal position of member states has improved dramatically, the EU on an average has a deficit that will be below 3% in 2014. Now that confidence is being recovered by most of our member states, of course, the pace of fiscal adjustment can be softened, and this actually already took place in 2013. It should be the same in 2014. It doesn't mean that one has not to keep an eye on the sustainability of public finances. On the contrary, it is important to consolidate this nascent confidence.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.